You want to know what actually makes a good studio session? Let's break it down. Here at URG Studios, we have been running sessions for the past 6 years and worked with all types of artists, Grammy nominated, artists that are signed, artists that are making their first hits. So let's break down a few of the questions that I always get asked when it comes to studio time. Question number 1, how many people can I bring to the studio? All right, there's a few things you got to consider when you're bringing someone to the studio. Number 1, do they contribute anything to your song? Number 2, do they contribute anything financially to your session? Number 3, check number 1 and number 2. To be honest, sometimes having too many people in the room will add a lot of clutter. If it's your first time recording, do not bring anybody. Don't bring your closest homie. Don't bring your girlfriend. Don't bring your boyfriend. Don't bring your mom. Don't bring nobody. You gotta just lock in, twin. Gotta lock it in. The only time you should be bringing people is when you're experienced and you're creating a song that requires a lot of people. For example, there's a couple artists that I work with that, sometimes they want to make something that feels good in the club, something that people want to dance to, girls want to shake some to. And sometimes for those sessions, it helps having a bunch of people in the room. Helps having a lot of women in the room. It helps having cool people or people that are dressed nice, people that smell good. It definitely adds to the session, to the environment, and it helps you just make decisions on the song that you wouldn't really make unless you're in that similar type of environment. Overall, it's always best to just be you, your engineer, your producer, maybe somebody you trust. Maybe. Question number 2, how long should a studio session be? This is a question I get all of the time, especially from people that it's their first time recording. I'm only doing one song. I only need like 30 minutes. No, you don't. Trust me, you're gonna want more. Sessions can definitely vary. I've had artists that pull up and they will knock out one song in an hour. I have some people that will book the studio for 8 hours and will only work on 2 songs, maybe 3 songs. Max. So it really just varies at how much you're layering the song, how much you're punching in for each take. At the end of the day, it's your studio session. You're paying for it, so do whatever you want to do. That's the cool thing about music. You have total freedom. So how long should I book a studio session for? On average, I would allow 2 to 3 hours of recording time for each song. There you go. Do with that information what you will. Question number 3. When does a session become unproductive? All right, this is a good question. Sometimes when you're in a recording session, especially if it's a 6-hour, 8-hour, 12-hour block, you'll get into a zone where you're recording and you're punching the same bar in over and over and over, and before you realize it, you've been working on the same bar for the past 15 minutes. Sometimes it's okay to take a break. Step outside, get a breath of fresh air, relax for a second. Don't listen to any music for 5 minutes, come back in and pick up where you left off. Now, some people don't like to do that. Some people like to just keep working until they get it. And that's okay too. A session becomes unproductive when the vibes are off and you're trying to force something to happen. I think if you're forcing things to happen, you're moving backwards. You're wasting your time and you're gonna end up making something that you're not even happy with. So what is the point? What is the point for real? You're gonna pay for studio time to make something that you're not happy with? Nah, you don't want to do that. So, being prepared for your studio session, having everything ready to go, having good energy, and being ready for whatever is going to happen during the session. The computer might crash. Maybe someone will say something crazy. Maybe you'll get a text that might throw your mood off, but you got to finish your session and you only have a 3-hour block, a 4-hour block. Don't waste your time. Be as professional as you can be. If you have to handle something, go handle it. But if you can avoid it, if you can stay focused on the session, stay locked into that moment as much as you can, and that's where you will find the most productivity. Question number 4. Does alcohol or weed help or hurt creativity? Now, this one is a debatable topic. I will say that it kind of hurts creativity. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. But this is just my experience and, what I've seen. Now, there are some people that, I don't know, they're just built different. There's some people that can handle their liquor, or not even that. They can handle their weed and they're not going crazy. They're not overdoing it, just a little bit. And they can get the session done. But the average person, if it's your first studio session, pull up sober, pull up clear-minded. I promise you, You can do all that stuff after while you're listening to the hit that we just made. Because if you do it beforehand, it's just gonna impair your judgment. You're not gonna be thinking clearly. You're not gonna be hearing clearly, especially if you're not experienced in the studio. Just show up and ready to work. Don't waste time. This is a sacred space. We're making things that are gonna help people. We're making things that is gonna make people move, make people dance. You don't wanna be dulled down or numbed in any way. You wanna be locked in. And in no way am I knocking those people that, need a little influence to get their things done. Question number 5. Should artists have beats and or have songs written beforehand? I mean, to me, this is an obvious duh. Of course you should. But hey, to each their own. I've met a lot of people that can freestyle in the booth. If you got it like that, if you're willing to spend the money and sit in there and freestyle for a couple hours just to get a song done, hey, do what you gotta do. Sometimes that's the process. Sometimes that's how it gets made. I was gonna say, sometimes that's how the sausage gets made, but pause. We're not gonna say that. If you're showing up to the studio with nothing prepared, you're wasting your own time. What are we doing? What are we doing at that point? It don't make no sense. I'll take your money, but it don't make no sense. Question number 6. When should you call it a night? When should you just say when? This is a valid question. When should you call it? I think this goes back to the energy thing. I think if the artist that is recording gets to a point where we've already made a few songs, we've already made a few hits, I've exerted all the energy I can exert, I feel good, I have nothing left in the tank, it's better to rest. It should all be depending on the artist. When should you call it a night? You should call it a night when the artist says it's a night. But if the artist still wants to go, if you are the artist and you still feel like you have something left, why not keep going? If you have the funds for it, keep going. Don't stop because, okay, you want to go out to the club or you want to do something like this. This song could change your life. But when it comes to calling it at the studio, I think you should always just trust your intuition, trust that gut feeling. And when it's time to end it, just end it. I think overall, if you're paying for studio time and you want to make the most of it, just make sure you have good energy. Make sure you show up ready to go. Make sure that you can't let nothing kill your vibe. That's the most important thing. If your vibe is good, that's what's going to translate to the song. If we forgot anything or you know any crazy studio stories, please share it down in the comments below. We'll catch you next week for another video.